will see. You want to make sure that you're comfortable and ready to go. I'll be with you for about an hour. So let's get to it. I'm going to start sharing my screen now, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm sure my tech people will let me know. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. All right. Okay, excellent. So let's go ahead and get into this PowerPoint presentation. Again, I'm Dr. B. B is my nickname. My full name is Bernetta Thomas. And the presentation, again, is called How to Cease the Warfare in Your Mind and Know Peace. I'm going to move some of these boxes out of the way. Okay, so I can see my PowerPoint. Excellent. All right, guys, so welcome. I'm Dr. B. Let's see, what can I tell you? First of all, I love talking about mindset. It's very important to me. I consult a lot of business owners, and I find like the most critical component to their success is actually mindset. And actually, really, mindset is the critical component to anyone's success. If you really think about it, it's a foundational thing that we must really get a hold of. And this is something I was just sharing with the host, or not with the host, with the tech support people. This is something that we can all benefit from. You know, I'm constantly working on improving my mindset. This is a daily task. My background, I'm a former college professor. I used to be a federal cop. I'm in the cannabis industry, been in the cannabis industry for years now. And I really enjoy it. Like I said, I get to help so many people. I've done a lot of amazing things here, and it's really been a fun industry to be in. But I tell you what, your mindset, again, has to be number one, no matter what you do, no matter what job you have, no matter what business you are in, no matter, okay? And that's what we're going to get into today. So in this course, we're going to go over a course introduction. We're going to talk about defining the mind. We're going to go over the 6 steps to cease the warfare in your mind. We're going to talk about some mindset solutions. And then finally, we're going to talk about creating peace in your mind. Okay. Now, this is a direct quote from one of my books here. And it says, one of the first books I read that encouraged me to reflect on what I was thinking and explore the concept of mindset was actually Joyce Meyer's book, The Battlefield of the Mind. Within the text, Myers revealed the magic of shining the light of consciousness on your thoughts. Okay. In other words, to actually see your thoughts. You are a conscious being seeing your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. And yet we can choose to focus our thoughts on higher vibrational things, okay? We're going to be getting into, you know, the context of this quote as we go through this presentation. So I have my coffee on deck because that's how I teach. I don't mess around, and you need your caffeine. So hopefully you have some caffeine with you. If not, go ahead and grab a cup of tea. Okay, so getting the most from this course. Now here are 5, or this workshop. You can call it a course, you call it a workshop. There's a lot of information in here that you want to glean from. So here are some tips to get the most. Okay. Number 1, relax. Very important that we relax. You know, these days, you know, we're very stressed out, a lot of us. And so, you know, we have to be reminded to relax. One of the things that I like to do, and I've been practicing this lately here, is throughout the day, saying to myself, I am aware. And just taking that nice deep breath, that puts me back into my body. So this is a great opportunity for you to really get into your body, to relax, and to take this information in. While you're relaxing, feel free to take notes, okay? This, again, there's going to be a lot of information that I think will be very useful to you. And there's some exercises in here that I do suggest. You want to complete those maybe at your own time. Maybe we'll actually have time to go over some of the exercises within this time that we're together. And I'm looking at my time as well. Okay, so I love giving book recommendations. I am, if you need a book recommendation, I have it. because, you know, I really love reading, and I feel like, you know, when you have a book in your hand, it's like it's almost like having a coach or a mentor or a consultant in your pocket, and it's really helpful. I mean, seriously. So I have some book recommendations that are going to help you. And then finally, you want to stay to the end and feel free to ask questions. Of course, if you have questions that come up, you know, you can submit those questions now if you like. We're going to wait until the end and we're going to answer questions. So by the end of this class, you will know what your mind is and what awareness is, what your subconscious mind is. I'm going to talk about 8 things that Psychology Today is a website, and they're reporting on the 8 things that most people don't know about their minds, okay? I found it to be pretty fascinating when I was looking at the information. And then, of course, we're going to talk about how to cease the warfare in your mind and know peace, because that is our main topic. Of course, we have to explain things before we get to that place. We have to know what the mind is in order to cease the warfare in our minds and know peace. And then we're going to talk about what is PMA, you know, and how to use that. What does PMA stand for? How do we use PMA? We're also going to talk about the 4 Trojan horses. I call it the 4 Trojan horses, and how to heal them. And then we're going to talk about mindfulness meditation, go over some of my favorite meditations, and more. So as you can see, this is a pretty jam-packed hour, and I wanted to make sure that I really gave you resources that you can use far beyond this hour that we're taking with each other, because I'm really, again, really passionate about this topic of mindset. Okay, so first things first, what in the world, what is your mind? Okay, so if you Google what is your mind or the definition of mind on Google, you'll get so many different definitions, all right? So I'm just gonna go with a couple of definitions that I actually like and that are pretty simple. Let's start with this one. The element of a person that enables them to be aware of the world and their experiences, to think and to feel, the faculty of consciousness and thoughts, okay? Another definition here, and this was taken from the Encyclopedia Britannica online. Mind, in the Western tradition, the complex of faculties involved in perceiving, remembering, considering, evaluating, and deciding. Mind is in some sense reflected in such occurrences as sensations, perceptions, emotions, memory, desires, various types of reasoning, motives, choices, traits of personality, and unconscious. Okay, and I'm just gonna take a sip there because that was a mouthful. I find it interesting that in this particular definition, it stresses Western tradition. And that kind of suggests that maybe throughout the world, or maybe in other parts of the world, the mind is defined in a different way. Because of course, you know, our definitions sometimes are framed because of our culture and, you know, our experiences. I also have this really cool picture of this brain that I got from Quartz. And I wanted to just put this quote out there right away. I'm going to get into it. Scientists say that your mind isn't confined to your brain or even your body. Okay, and I thought that was interesting. And I'll go into that in more detail. Just let that settle, okay, for now. Scientists say that your mind isn't confined to your brain or even your body. Now, I do find that quite fascinating. Again, we're going to get into that more. I love Osho. Okay, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Osho. I read a lot of Osho books. Osho, he doesn't really consider himself a philosopher. To me, he has a lot of very spiritual keys that he talks about. He's more like a sage, and there's a lot of books that he's written about mindset and tantra and love and, you know, relating versus relationships. And I suggest that you really get into Osho if you're not familiar with his work. Of course, he has come and gone, yet his work is still here. Again, in all of these books. Again, resources. Books are wonderful resources for you to get more information. Anyway, Osho's definition of the mind. The mind is not locatable, okay? No one knows No one knows where the mind is. Osho talks about the mind being like a crowd of people, okay? Like the mind really is a crowd of thoughts, all right? You can find the people, yet you cannot find something called a crowd. You can find the people within the crowd, yet you cannot locate the crowd. Osho says you have thoughts, yet you can't find them, okay? You cannot find your thoughts, yet you have these thoughts, okay? He also talks about the thoughts being like clouds in the sky. And I really love that definition of thoughts. And by the way, when I say mind, I'm also saying thoughts, because your mind and your thoughts, they are the same. So if you look at your mind, if you look at your thoughts as if they were clouds floating in the sky, you know, this is very powerful, because clouds are constantly shifting, constantly changing, constantly developing. So what does that tell you? That tells you your mind is always moving, okay? It's usually pretty busy. And what Osho says is that you're actually the sky, okay? You're not the clouds, you're the sky. And that's really, really powerful. And we'll get into that in more detail, what that really means to be the sky. That talks a little bit about being the awareness, which we'll get into that momentarily. Something to think about. And actually a really beautiful meditation to sit and look at the sky. I mean, just sit and look and be present and watch those clouds just go on by. That's a meditation. Okay, so Psychology Today talks about 8 things you didn't know about your mind. Okay, and this, again, just drilling this home. No one knows exactly what the mind is. No one knows what it is. Exactly, which is strange. We've gone to space. We've been in the depths of the ocean. We have made advances in, in all sorts of arenas, all sorts of faculties of life. And yet, scientists still don't know exactly what the mind is, or how the brain creates it. Wow. So the mind is created by the brain and can function without the brain. Your mind can actually function without your brain. Thinking is the way that you talk to yourself. Okay, just think of it that way. No pun intended. Thinking and self-talk are the same. Okay. When whatever thoughts you have in your mind currently, it's called self-talk. It's a way that you're talking to yourself. So what am I saying here? Am I saying that we're all crazy and we're all talking to ourselves? Yes, we are all talking to ourselves. Our minds are constantly talking to ourselves. And this is going to bring us deeper into our topic. Because really and truly, the question is, what are you talking about? And sometimes what you're talking about in your mind is actually what's creating the warfare in your mind, which, is our main topic, okay? You can watch your mind work. Remember earlier when I was talking about clouds in the sky and how your mind is like, those thoughts are like clouds in the sky? Well, again, you can watch those clouds go by. Just like you can watch your mind chit chat. You can watch your mind. If you take a moment, you can see how busy your mind is. I tell you, there is a temple. It's a Buddhist temple that I go to. I used to go to before all of this happened. And now we have our services online. And what I noticed when I remember one time before all of this happened, I went to a silent meditation at the Buddhist temple, and it's every first Saturday they have this, about 8 hours where you're simply, you're in silence. Okay. And I tell you, the first thing I noticed when I went to this event and I sat there in silence was how busy my mind was. Okay. And this goes into the next point, before I read that, I want to say, you can watch your mind work, otherwise known as mindful awareness, which we'll explore later. Watching your mind, being the witness to your mind. Anyway, when I went to this meditation, I became the witness to my mind. And immediately, it did not take any time to realize how busy my mind is. And I know this may happen to you guys. Actually, this is very common when people sit down and they get ready to meditate, and all of a sudden their mind explodes and it's going in 100 different directions. This is normal. This is very, very normal, because again, your mind is busy. As it says here, the mind is a wild thing and it will run where it will. Okay. The mind will go from one thought to the next and then back again. One moment you want chili cheese fries. The next moment you don't want chili cheese fries. You want a smoothie. The next moment you want a salad. The next moment you're like, why do I want any of these things? Again, your mind is constantly churning out these thoughts. And oh my gosh, if you were to pay attention to every thought, how tired would you be? How tired would you be? Your mind can change your brain. Okay, I thought this was a very interesting point here. Your mind, again, also known as your thoughts, can create new thought patterns. Your mind can create new thought patterns and rewire and program your brain. Let me read that again. Your mind can change your brain. Your mind, also known as your thoughts, can create new thought patterns and rewire and reprogram your mind. So you can rewire and you can reprogram your mind by creating new thought patterns, okay? And, you know, sometimes people think that positive thinking and all of that doesn't work. And we're going to get into that later on. It does work. It does work. And science has shown that it does work because, again, you can create new thought patterns. Just going a little step further, simple feeling words can calm your mind and change your brain, like literally change your brain. New research suggests that labeling an emotion that's causing you pain can switch off the fight or flight activity in the brain. Many of us live in this constant stage of fight or flight, okay? And that keeps us in this place of panic. It keeps us in this place of there's like this pending danger around the corner. And that makes us very anxious, okay? I want to say that a lot of people are dealing with anxiety. And let me tell you, people were dealing with anxiety prior to all of this happening, okay? It seems to me that anxiety has increased for a lot of people. I can tell you, when I worked in the dispensary world, the top three reasons that people go to the dispensary is because they have anxiety, they have pain, and they can't sleep. And I feel like these three things are actually connected, okay? So again, that's why a topic like this is very important, especially for this time when anxiety is really high and people are actually battling in their minds daily. And so we send love to the people that are dealing with anxiety right now. You know, even at this moment, I send love to you, okay? There is help and there is hope. So let's continue. Again, simple feeling words can calm your mind and change your brain. Now here's something really fascinating, and I guess it kind of goes back to this whole fight or flight thing. Your brain has a negativity bias, okay? Your brain leans towards negativity. It leans towards threats. It leans towards dangers. And the reason why sometimes it does that, or in general, goes back to, you know, our human nature, you know, how we survived back in the day, okay? Back way, way back in the day. Basically, it kept us safe. You know, how we saw threats. It's human nature to see threats. If you don't see the threat, then you may actually end up being on the other side of it and being a victim. So we develop this ability to be able to perceive threats, and sometimes that can come off as being able to focus on negativity. However, your mind can teach your brain to be happier. Again, you don't have to stay in this fight or flight place. If there's no danger, if there's no bear attacking you, then there's no reason to be riled up all the time. And again, many of us are riled up all the time. And that is why we are so miserable. We are creating misery for ourselves. Okay. Learning new things changes your brain. And I think we know this, we can see this throughout so many studies. There's what's the saying? It's never too late to teach an old dog tricks. Okay. It's never too late for any of us to learn something new. When you learn something new, we know that it actually helps your brain to develop. You're literally rewiring your brain. You're literally improving your memory. And sometimes, it's really helpful to do this, because what happens is, if you're learning new things, if you're learning something that's positive, if you're learning something that you enjoy, then it's actually going to help release feel-good chemicals actually within your brain. And you're going to feel more positive because, first of all, you're doing something you enjoy. You're rewiring your brain as well. It's almost like adding an extra boost of life and energy to your brain. Okay. And I love learning new things. I mean, learn a new language, or, take advantage of some of the opportunities that we have now, in using the technology that we have right before us. Aren't we so grateful to have the technology that we have, to have things like Zoom, where we can still communicate with each other, where I can reach out to you? I mean, really and truly, we're all learning new things even at this time. We're all acquiring new skills that we probably didn't realize that we had. And I think that's part of positive thinking, being able to look at the positive, and not always focusing on the negative, being able to find, that nugget of truth and wisdom and value, something that you can really hold on to, something that makes you feel good. Okay. All right. So here's another quote from one of my books here. What is your mindset? Your mindset is the way you think about things and your state of belief. It is an established set of attitudes held by someone. Your mind is defined as the element of a person that enables them to be aware of the world and their experiences, to think and to feel, the faculty of consciousness and thought. I will add that your mindset is your attitude about a thing. So we know, what is the saying? Attitude. Attitude is everything. Okay. And I think your attitude actually determines, what's the saying? Your attitude determines your altitude. It determines how far you go. If you have a really crappy attitude, then you're really not going to experience peace like you would like to experience peace, because of your mindset, because of your attitude. You will attract situations to you that are very, very unpleasant. So what is your subconscious mind? Okay, again, another quote. Your subconscious mind is the part of the mind which you are not fully aware of, but which influences your actions and feelings. Compared to your conscious mind, which is responsible for logic and reasoning, your subconscious mind is the part responsible for your involuntary actions. We develop patterns in our subconscious. Some of these patterns are not beneficial, okay? And some patterns are beneficial when you become conscious. So I'm talking about patterns that we create. And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about how you can rewire your brain to create new patterns. You can rewire your brain to be more positive. And sometimes we're stuck in these patterns that we don't realize, and the patterns are developed through our subconscious mind. There are so many meditations that you can do to help you work to get deeper into your subconscious mind, because sometimes we have things that are just ingrained in there we don't even realize. And I tell people all the time, in order to really heal something, you have to pluck the roots. Okay. A lot of times we heal things, by putting a Band-Aid on it, but let me tell you this, the issue is still there. The issue is still there because you haven't plucked the root. And oftentimes the root stems from childhood experiences that we've had. Okay. Oftentimes as adults, we're dealing with childhood trauma that has yet to be healed. This is very important. And I'm very passionate about it because I see this all the time. We need to heal our lives, okay? And we can. As a matter of fact, that's the title of a book, You Can Heal Your Life, and that's by Louise Hay. And I'll get into my book recommendations at the end of this. Nevertheless, know that you can reprogram your subconscious mind. Know that there are meditations that you can use. I've used these meditations and they're very helpful. Even like hypnotherapy is very beneficial. Okay, so how to cease the warfare in your mind and know peace. How to know peace today. Okay, here's 6 steps that I came up with. Number 1 is awareness. How do you cease the warfare? First of all, you need to turn your lights on, okay? You are the lights. So that's easy to turn your lights on if you are the light, because the light is already there. So there's nothing that you need to go out to the store and go buy, because you are it. You need to realize that you are not your mind. You're not. You're not. Which means that you're not the thoughts you think. That means that you're not your feelings, you're not your emotions, you're not your opinions, you're not any of these things. And you would think people must think that they are their thoughts because they argue for them. They must think that they are their feelings because they argue for them. They must think that they're their emotions because they argue for them. They must think that they're their opinions because they argue for them. And the reality of the situation is you're none of these things. And it talks about that in the beginning of the book, in the Course of Miracles, okay? So if you're none of these things, if you're not your mind, if you're not your thoughts, if you're not your feelings, if you're not your emotion, if you're not your opinions, if you're none of these things, then what the hell are you? You're no thing. I remember a few years back when I moved to California. I moved to California from Wisconsin. Shout out to my Wisconsinites out there. And one of the first meditations that popped into my spirit was, you are nothing. And I said, well, what does that mean? And I kept saying it. I am nothing. I am nothing. I am no thing. No thing. I'm no physical thing. I'm beyond a physical thing. Okay. And that's what I want to let you know. You are not, even though you're a physical being, you're beyond this physical shell. You're beyond this flesh, okay? You are the awareness, actually, that witnesses the busy mind at work. And that's why you can watch your mind. Who's the one that's watching? That's who you are. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. You are the one that's watching the mind. Again, going back to what Osho says, you are the sky, not the clouds. The awareness is called consciousness. You are pure consciousness. You don't have to go look for it. That's who you are. A lot of times we figure like, oh, we have all these issues, maybe we can go solve them and go buy the latest this, that, and the other thing. Okay, well, the reality of the situation is I'm going to tell you, you have everything you need already. You are the light. okay, for starters. And you are pure consciousness. That's what you are. And again, the consciousness is a witness to the mind. The consciousness can sit back and watch all of the tomfoolery that the mind wants to play on the mind channel, because that's what the mind does. So a tip for you when you're doing your meditations, and let's just say your mind starts working, it's always going to be working, I tell you that. You start to get all these different thoughts that come in. Simply watch those thoughts. Again, let them pass like clouds in the sky. Be a witness to the thoughts. Who's the witness? You are. What is the witness? Pure consciousness. No thing. No, limitless. Okay. Number 2, how to overcome war. Cease fire. Cease fire, cease fire. That means if you think you are at war, honey, let me tell you, you will be. Okay. You need to be mindful of the words that you use. If you feel like all hope is lost, then all hope is lost for you, because that's what you're going to attract to your situation. And I know this is very, like in your face news. However, it may be really encouraging to know that you are in control. You are in control. No one else has the power. You have the power to cease the warfare in your own mind by changing the way that you think, okay, and getting to know peace. Okay, peace is within. There is a part of you that is untouchable. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world around you. Doesn't matter what's happening in Washington, D.C. There is a place in you that is total peace. And if you're not at that place of total peace, then you are consumed. You become consumed with things, okay, of this world, as some holy scriptures would say, which is to say that you've become overwhelmed. You've lost yourself. Okay. You're out there. And you don't want to stay in that place, because that's a very stressful place to be. Okay. That's not to say that you cannot make a difference in this chaotic world. However, let me tell you, if you're coming from a place of war, if everything you have to fight for this, and you got to fight for that, and you got a war on this and a war on that, listen, you're coming from a place of chaos. And I understand that out of chaos, order is created. However, there is no peace. There is no peace when you come from a place of war, when you have to have a war on everything. You don't need to have a war on things in order to create a solution. How about you can simply create a solution? Okay. Another thing to point out is to not make your thoughts your enemy. Okay. Their thoughts are the thoughts. They're not your enemy. They come and they go. You don't need to be at war with your thoughts. You need to know that you're not your thoughts, and also know that you can reprogram your thoughts. That doesn't mean that you have to judge every thought that comes in your mind. Instead, start becoming aware of the quality of your thoughts. What kind of thoughts are you having? Are they thoughts that are uplifting? Are there thoughts that are actually going to help you get from point A to point Z? Or are there thoughts that are going to restrict you and keep you in this place of victimization? If you have negative patterns in your thinking, adjust and create more positive thoughts. That's what you want to do. Again, I'm looking at my time. How to overcome war? Detox. Okay. This nice looking beverage sitting there. Okay, so you need to detox. This is something that's beneficial, again, for everyone, especially during this time. A lot of us are so addicted. Oh my gosh, myself included. We get so addicted to our phones. We get so addicted to, social media. We just get addicted to these things. And, they can really create chaos in our life situations, because sometimes it's just a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. So what we want to do is we want to let go of all things toxic. And sometimes that may include relationships. Okay. Some people do not, some people are not, how do I say this in a way that won't make you fire everyone in your life situation? Some people are not worth you putting your time and your energy and really, like, some people are energy drainers, and we know this. Everyone knows this. Everyone has people that they've met in their life situation, okay, that can be total energy drainers. And sometimes these people are very toxic, and sometimes these people are actually very close to you. And usually that's the case. And you have to create that distance. If you can, create that distance in your situation where you can, you know, have a buffer between you and very toxic people. Let them go. That might mean that, the friends you used to hang out with before, they're so negative. They're always talking about the news and what's going on, and it's always doom and gloom and da. You need to leave those people alone. I'm telling you, you need to leave those people alone. I know it sounds harsh. You can send them a letter. You can send them a letter in the mail. Okay. You can send them flowers. Let me tell you, you don't want to be hanging around with these people, because let me tell you, birds of a feather do flock together. That's true. Give your TV a rest, for God's sake. Okay. You want to talk about detox? Listen, how about you turn the TV off? How about you take a moment, because if you're constantly being bombarded with these images, and if the images are constantly negative, then what do you think that's going to do for you? That's not going to help you. That's going to seep right into the fabric of your being, okay? And the next thing you know, you're going to be as toxic as the shows that you watch. Again, stay off of social media. Take a social media break. It's okay to take a social media break. Social media will be there. I promise you. This is a big one. Stop arguing with people. Just stop it. Stop it. This is something that creates so much war and chaos in our minds, because we're arguing with people. We argue on social media. We're arguing our viewpoints and and this person is voting for this person, and this person is voting for that person, and this person is not doing this, and this person is, we're constantly arguing with people, and it's a great source of stress in our life situation. I'm telling you right now. And, when you think about it, you only have so many beautiful years on this earth. And do you really want to spend them majoring on minors? A lot of the things that we argue about doesn't even matter anyway. You ask yourself, is it going to matter 10 years from now? Probably not. And again, when you're arguing with people, all you're doing is arguing your position, okay? And you're not your position. Remember, you are no thing. You're even beyond your position. That means you're even beyond your political party. You are not your political party. Okay. You're not any of these labels. You are no thing. When you start labeling yourself and really, really, really consuming that on a regular basis, and you think that that is who you are, then you are missing who you really are. You are deeper than that. And that is the point. A lot of people think that they are these labels, and you're beyond labels. So detoxing from labels, okay? Taking a moment and going deeper into your true self. Another way to detox, of course, is to get more real foods in your body. Okay, I like to have a smoothie regularly, drink some water, eat something that makes you feel really good. Okay, drink something that makes you feel really good. Get your teas, get your herbal teas, get your fruits, get your vegetables. Less packaged foods. Okay, we don't even know. If you don't know what the ingredient is, on the label, be mindful of the labels. Be mindful of the ingredients in your food, and stick with, maybe take a detox and do real foods, for a week, fresh foods for a week, no packaged foods for a week, and simply see how you feel by removing certain things from your diet, and adding certain things to your diet. Okay. And not everyone is meant to have the same diet. So I don't preach that. Again, that's judging others. What I will tell you is be mindful of your own body. Okay. When something feels good to your body will tell you that it feels good to you. And I'm telling you right now, your body enjoys fruits and vegetables, unless you just can't tolerate fruits and vegetables. Most people can tolerate fruits and vegetables. So get some fruits and vegetables in your life. Get some water in your life. Get some spirulina. I like spirulina. It's one of the the herbs that I use in my smoothies. It's like green, extra green. And I love it because it's like a boost of iron. I really feel the difference when I eat a certain way. I do. And you will too. Number 4, how to overcome the warfare. Evict the judge. Okay, the judge needs to be fired. The judge in your head absolutely needs to be fired. Tell the judge's time is up. The judge is constantly judging yourself. The judge is constantly judging others. The judge creates nothing but separation. Nothing but separation. And when you judge yourself, you're judging others. So if you're critical with yourself, you're going to be critical with others. The judge is one who criticizes, who's always finding fault, a fault finder. If you have a fault finder in your head, you need to fire the fault finder in your head, okay? When you're constantly judging, you're constantly criticizing, you're a pain in the butt to deal with. No one wants to be around you. No one wants to be around a person that's extra critical, okay? Again, firing the judge will help you. And it's easy, just get out, evict them, okay? Free yourself and fire the judge that's always telling people what they should and shouldn't do. One of the ways to free yourself is to eliminate that word should, because it's coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from this place of, this should happen this way. Well, how about the reality of the situation is what it is and not what it should be? So should is one of those words that you can eliminate. It helps you to evict the judge in your head. Okay. How to overcome warfare? Be here now. Be in the present moment. It is always now o'clock. If you picture a clock, you can just picture now at every hour. The gift is in this moment. Eckhart Tolle talks about this again. I love Eckhart Tolle, if you haven't figured that out right now. He talks about the present moment, and it's called the present moment for a reason, because it's a present, it's a gift. It's something that we can enjoy. Oftentimes we overlook the present moment. We're not grateful for it because we're somewhere in the future. We just lack, we're so consumed with this fear and with this worry that we forget that we are here now. We're so consumed with how we're going to survive next week that we're not here in the moment. We're not even realizing the joy and the gifts and the opportunities that are taking place right in the present moment because we're consumed about next week. Okay. And that's not to say you can't plan. However, when you plan, you're only planning in the present. Find the beauty in the present moment. There's always beauty in the present moment. Remember earlier when I took that breath and I said, I go throughout the day and I say, I am aware. Again, let's do that together. I am aware. And this is something that I got from Louise Hay. One of her affirmations is, I am aware. And what that does, again, is that puts you into your body. That puts you into the present moment. That reminds you that you are here. You are here. And that is, you are a living witness. You are life itself. And to deny the present moment actually is to deny life. So another reason why it's hard for some of us to be here now is because we're stuck in the past. Okay, we're stuck with our story. We all have the story. You know, we all have a sad story. I know I do. I'm sure you do. I know the man on the moon does. What I'm saying is we're not our stories. We're not our stories either. And so we can let those go. We're actually bigger than our stories. Okay, we can tell them. We're the one telling the story. That means we're bigger than our stories. So how to overcome war? How to cease the warfare? Stop being consumed with these stories that we're constantly telling. Let these stories go. We are not our stories. These are things that happen to us. That is not who we are. Again, not consuming ourselves with the future, planning for the future in the now. And when the future gets here, how about it will still be now o'clock? Okay? It will always be now. Now is all you have. And that's what we need to know. And really there's peace in that because you only have to deal with this moment as it is. You know, you don't, and I really find freedom. For me, that's fine. That's free. freedom, knowing that this is the only thing that I have to deal with right now. I don't know, might not have the answers to this, that, and the other thing. I have this moment. Okay. What do I need to do now, if anything? Okay. How to overcome war? Love. Oh my gosh. Love, 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 love. We need more love. Okay. We are love. We have to realize that. You know, what's that song? What the world needs now is love. Oh, honey, yes. We need to turn our love on, and we need to turn our love up. Okay. We need to increase the vibration of our love now, especially. So the more you love yourself, this is key. You must love yourself. Okay. How are you going to love someone else if you don't love yourself? It doesn't even make any sense. So you must love yourself by practicing love. Okay. The more you practice self-love, honey, the more peace you will create in your life situation. This is so true. I mean, seriously. My mother says, and I grew up like this. And so I talk to my mom all the time. She tells me the same thing. She says, sometimes you got to jump back and kiss yourself. Who said that? I think James Brown too. So it's just, okay. Love yourself, appreciate yourself, value yourself. Okay. No one else will love you like you love you. This is what you must know. This is what you must know. The more you love yourself, the more you please yourself, the more you enjoy yourself, the more other people will love you and enjoy you and please you. You're not looking for anyone else to do this for you. You're not looking for love. How are you looking for love when you're already there? You are love. How are you looking for something that you are? So again, how to overcome war? Become the love that you really are. Okay. You'll have more peace. You'll feel better on the inside and out. Love creates a beautiful force field of protective energy around you. Everywhere I go, I am loved. Okay. Everywhere I go, everywhere. So, and that's because I turn up my love and I really let it ooze out of my pores. And so it's infectious. Okay. Love is infectious, honey. It's like ooey gooey. All right. So either you're going to be pouring that out, you know, or you're going to be pouring out something else. I choose to walk in love. And love creates this beautiful energy around you. And what I find is it always attracts supportive experiences in my life situation. So again, once you know how to love yourself, then you can really love your neighbor. All right. You can't love your neighbor if you don't love yourself. And I know people want to skip over that part of loving themselves. Listen, you can learn to love yourself. I know it can be hard for people to love themselves. I know this. I used to teach this college course. I taught for over 7 years, and I taught a wide variety of courses. And one of the courses we focused on, you know, healing your life situation and holistic health. And one of the exercises I would do with the students, and they were all adult learners, by the way. So these are people like in their, you know, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s. You know, my oldest student was in her 70s, and they had not been taught the principles of self-love, which is very, very important. You know, if you're walking around in your life situation and you don't know how to love yourself, it could lead to a very, very miserable life situation. And so what I would have the students do would be mirror work. So literally looking in the mirror and, you know, repeating, I love myself. I love myself. And do you know how difficult that was for people? It's very difficult. It's very difficult, especially if you have issues with self-love. And yet this is a place to start, beloveds. Start with doing the mirror work. That's another meditation I'm just throwing out there. Looking into the mirror and telling yourself, I love myself. I love myself. There are other affirmations you can do as well. I love myself. I'm worthy of love. Any affirmation that deals with love. And again, pouring love into your cup. If you have to go buy yourself some flowers, then so be it. So be it. You have to buy yourself some flowers, take yourself out to eat, do something. Make sure that you are constantly pouring into your own cup and not waiting for someone else to do it. Don't do that because you'll be waiting forever. Be your best lover now. This is something that I constantly tell myself. Be your best lover now. So mindset solutions, I'm going to be kind of whipping through these slides because we only have so much time, and I want to make sure that I go through all these slides. So what is PMA? PMA stands for positive mental attitude. The concept of PMA was introduced in 1937 by the famous author Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich. I love this book, Think and Grow Rich. It talks a lot about, well, it talks about how to think and grow rich, but in addition to that, it goes over mindset. And really your mindset, again, is that foundational piece that you need to have in anything that you do, whether it be business or your job or working with your kids or whatever it is. Your mindset has to be in this place where the foundation is laid. The right foundation has to be laid. And the right foundation is one that is a positive mental attitude. Again, earlier we were talking about how your attitude is everything. So how do we become more positive? Okay. Want to focus on the power of the present moment, which is what we talked about, again, being in the now. We want to take inventory of everything we have and count our blessings, literally naming them one by one. When I'm feeling really miserable, I will literally start saying, okay, I'll take a deep breath. And I'll start rattling off the things that I'm grateful for. Like, I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for my hands. I'm grateful for whatever it is that's around me at that time. I will immediately start expressing gratitude, and that pulls me out of this place of misery. Don't simply think positive, think, act, do. It's more than just sitting around and la-di-da. Eventually your positivity, your mental positivity will lead to physical positivity. Okay. How you treat people is really what matters, not just you sitting around and meditating. It's what you do when you come out of meditation. Treat people the way that you want to be treated always. 6 ways, again, to become more positive. Surround yourself around positive people. We talked about that earlier, getting rid of the toxic people in your life situation. Accept crappy and happy days alike, because what? Crap happens, all right? That's just the way it is. This too shall pass. Doesn't mean that you're always going to be stuck in this place. You may have the situation at night, and in the morning, things are different, okay? Nothing is set in stone. And one thing that is consistent is change. If you can simply just wait a while, I can guarantee what you're experiencing now, you won't be experiencing tomorrow. It will be a different situation, something else maybe that you might need to overcome or adjust to, or a blessing that enters your life and situation. Life is full of surprises. It really is. So if you adopt this mindset of serenity now, of allowing whatever comes into your space actually to surprise you, then you'll have more gratitude. You'll have more gratitude in your life situation. Life will become a gift. Approach life with childlike wonder and childlike curiosity. Just really briefly going over this, the 4 Trojan horses, I call them the 4 Trojan horses. So they're 4 common emotions or mindsets, and these emotions are not necessarily good or bad emotions. Yet, if they're unchecked, they could lead to a lot of issues. And so that's why I want to talk about them. Anger, fear, jealousy, and victimization. These are something that you see play over and over and over again. We all deal with these emotions, very common emotions. Anger. So we've all had experience which has angered us. let me go back. We may have been justified in our anger or not. Okay. And yet, if you allow your anger to continue, and you're just constantly angry, it really is going to lead to stress, and stress is what leads to disease. And why do you want that? Anger can also cause you to destroy your relationships. It can make other people not want to be anywhere around you. All right. It can pull large amounts of energy away from you. You see this all the time. People are angry all the time on social media. And where is their energy going? Well, another one of the 4 Trojan horses is fear. I like to say that fear is the devil, okay? It can be very paralyzing. Usually behind anger, there's fear. We tend to fear what we don't know, okay? Fear will keep you from reaching your goals if you allow it, okay? Fear will make that sense of trepidation for you. It could prevent you from growing. It can prevent you from reaching levels of success. Fear is what can produce the anxiety. Fear is a time waster. Fear is often an illusion, because, what we fear, we usually don't experience. Jealousy is another one of the Trojan horses. Jealousy can appear innocent and yet it can destroy you. Okay. Jealousy is a trickster because it causes you to focus and compare yourself to others. And I have these pictures of ballerinas on point because I used to dance. I'm a former professional dancer, danced for years. And I can tell you there's a lot of competition in the dance world and you're constantly comparing yourself to others. And that could really wreak havoc on your self-esteem, you know, because you're a unique individual. We're all different. I like to say that we're a box of crayons. We're the same, yet we're different. When you're jealous of someone else, you're essentially annoying your gifts and your unique abilities. Okay. You're sending a message out to the universe that says you're not enough. Jealousy sends hate into the atmosphere, okay? Jealousy is a scarcity mindset. You are essentially saying you're not enough and there will never be enough for all. Victimization, okay? This is a big one. Everyone wants to be a victim these days. It suggests that this is called the woe is me mindset, I like to call it. When you're a victim, you feel sorry for yourself. Victims feel like the world is always out to get them. That's not to say that you don't have these experiences, yet if you constantly remain victimized, it will be hard for you to attract help that you need to be successful. It's going to be hard for you to attract the right mindset if you're a victim. It's going to be hard for you to be victorious if you're a victim. So I wrote down 8 steps to overcome the Trojans. Take a deep breath, you know, and I'll just go over these really briefly because we only have so many minutes. Take a deep breath. Pay attention to any feelings in your body. Allow yourself to feel. Observe what your body is feeling. Okay. Keep observing. While you're calm, mentally ask yourself, what is the root to why I feel this way? If nothing comes up after you ask questions, simply go about your day because there's nothing you can do right now. And if there is something that comes up, then you want to act in the present moment. That's what I said here. You get an answer while in stillness, write it down. If it's something you can do, do it. How to create peace in your mind in 2020 and beyond. Okay, mindfulness meditation is very important. I'm not going to read this, but mindfulness meditation is something that's very important to you. Meditation is the key. Again, that deep breathing, that getting to that place of stillness. Mindful meditation can help you lower your stress levels, make you a better leader, ground you closer to your values. You can use affirmations. I love using affirmations. One of mine is, I am healthy, wealthy, and wise. I say that regularly. Vision boards. I have a vision board right in front of me. Right in front of me, it says, beauty is within you. Vision boards are great things to put in your eye gates because it really helps you to focus on positivity. Binaural beats. Again, this is something that you can use, just another meditation. You want to Google binaural beats when you have time. Again, these are different frequencies that you can use to adjust your mind. Binaural beats can help in many ways: stress relief, emotional control, physical and mental pain, etc. and etc. My top 3 meditations. I love sitting in nature. I'm a nature person. I feel like nature helps you to ground yourself. Listening to music always puts me in my happy place, so I advise you do that. Listening to positive music that really uplifts you. What you may consider positive, another person may consider noise. So again, listening to something that you enjoy. Coloring is something I really enjoy doing because it's like a meditative practice. Here are some of the books that I recommend for mindset. As you can see here, Eckhart Tolle is like #1 and #2. I really like the 10 Keys to Higher Consciousness as well. And there's a mindset quiz that you can take. I'll just go ahead and point you in that direction so that you can see. I found this quiz on mindtools.com, and it talks about, are you a positive or a negative thinker? Okay. I took this quiz earlier today and I actually scored really well. So it's a quiz that you can take that I found online. There are a lot of online quizzes that you can take to see, you know, where your mindset is. And then here's another one that I found. Oh, wait, is that the same one? Oh, yeah. No, just one quiz. Another thing that I want to talk about is there's 2 mindset meditations here. I just want to point these out. So in your own time, you can kind of look at them. This one I found on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Scarlett.
Just turn this off.
I am
okay. It's a positive mindset meditation. Again, you can go ahead and screenshot this if you want. It's a sleep meditation by Jason Stevenson. Okay. And again, this is positive mindset in 5 minutes. If you have 5 minutes to your day, this will be beneficial to add to your day. Here's another meditation that you can do that I found on YouTube. This one is more like it's not a guided meditation. It's just simply listening to music. This music is about enhancing self-love. It's healing music. Again, these are things that can put you in a state of tranquility that can really help you cease the warfare. Okay, so we are done. Does anyone have any questions? As I go back and stop sharing my screen and just kind of wait and see where we are. Let me stop sharing my screen and go back into our room. Hey guys! It's good to be back and to see your lovely faces. So do we have any questions? I'm gonna go ahead and open the chat and see. Okay, we can't see the meditation videos. Can you show the book screen again? Okay, yeah, let me do that. Let me go back and share my, actually what I can do is there a way, I'm gonna go ahead and post the meditation in the group chat. That's what I'll do. And then that way, we can send it out to everyone. And then let me go back so maybe you can take a screenshot of what I have. Share my screen. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the meditation went really fast. Okay, let me just okay, let me shrink this. Yeah, I was listening to this morning actually, and then what I'll do is,
hi, I'm Brett Callen.
That's really loud. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and then I'll make this bigger so that you can go ahead and take a screenshot of it. And let's see. And then I'll throw the link in the chat. Let me do that right now. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to put that other link in the chat too, because I want to make sure that you have both of the meditations. And then I'll put that quiz in there too, because you want to see where your mindset is. You want to start off at that place. So just give me a few more seconds so I can make sure you have everything. Okay, I gave you the first mindset meditation, the second mindset meditation. This one is longer. The first one is great. If you only have 5 minutes, it's great. This one is perfect, like, you know, for nighttime or even throughout the day, you know, if you want to just have something really tranquil to listen to. Okay, go ahead and take a screenshot if you want of this as well. Okay. All right. And then here's that other meditation. Okay, and then last but not least, let's go back and let's go to that mindset quiz. Okay. All right, I think you'll really enjoy this. This will only take you a few minutes to do. If you want to do a screenshot of this, you can as well. Let's see, this is, see if you can see it. Get my camera out of the way. Mindset tools, okay? So last but not least, let me go ahead and post that in the chat. Okay, wait, you don't want to see that. That's me. All right. Okay. All right. So you have 2 meditations and you also have a quiz that you can take. All of that has been posted in the chat, and those are things that you can do at your own leisure. Do we have any questions? Oh, you don't have them in the chat. Okay, well, I just posted them. So maybe the tech people can actually make sure that the chat has it available. I gave it to the tech people. So again, there's 3 links. I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to get them out to you. They're pretty easy to get to you. I posted them in the, oh, you know what I should have done? I should have posted them to everyone in the meeting, but I'm sure the tech people will make sure that you get those links. Again, Make sure you've taken a screenshot. I posted my screen so that you can have that just in case. Oh, great. The tech people said that they will share the links with everyone, so you'll have them. And yeah, this is something that you can do maybe today, you know, start working on your mindset, guys. You know, I'm here for you. I love you. I appreciate you. I value you. And I'm really grateful to have been able to share this presentation with you. If you want to reach out to me, I can be found at drbthomas.com, D-R-B-E-E Thomas, Thomas.com. And I am definitely available. So I love you all. Oh, the books too, someone said. Okay, wait, let me put that up on my screen too, because that's important. Okay. Yeah, books are very important and they're totally part of my arsenal. Okay, so here are those books again. Take a screenshot of that as well. Yeah. I really love all of these books. I mean, they're amazing, especially The Power of Personal Accountability. I mean, it just really tells you about how much you are in control of your life situation. Okay, so that's all. I don't think we have any questions. Let me just look through the chat. Okay, leave those people alone. You guys are so beautiful. Just making sure I'm not missing any questions. Listed the books again. You saw the YouTube videos. Okay, you got the links to the meditation. Mary, okay, very good. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed this. Books. Okay, did that. Okay, all right, so we got the links, you got the quiz, you got the books, you got everything. We're good to go. All right, well then that's it. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Dr. B.
Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day too. Thank you.
Take care. Be well.
Peace.